Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ailín and today I'm doing another 24-hour reading challenge. If you don't know, if you're new here, hi, my name is Ailín and I have done one other 24-hour reading challenge that actually took many tries, but we got there. That was my first time trying. I'm ready to try again. I want to get better. I want to know my limits and I want to see how much I can read in 24 hours. So I'm going to do the 12 hours and 12 hours method. I will be timing the hours on my phone. I will stop the timer whenever I'm doing other stuff that is not reading. I'm not going to pull an all-nighter. I think that would affect my reading 100%. So I'd rather do 12 on 12 in 2 days just to see how much I can really read and still comprehend the words that are on the page, you know? So I'm going to show you the TBR for this video. Things can change, but this is what's on my radar. So first we have A Torch Against the Night. I just finished A Number in the Ashes and I gave that book a 5 stars. It ends on a really big cliffhanger. I want to see what they do. I'm hoping we get romance here. If not, that's okay, but it's like a perfect setup. So I will probably start with this one. Second book, A Reaper at the Gates. I might want to continue the story. This is on the TBR, just in case. Then we have A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver. This would be a perfect palette cleanser and it's on my monthly TBR. This is a great option. And then The Score by Elle Kennedy. I really want to read this one. I'm obsessed with Dean from the books and now from the TV show. It's everything I can think of. This has a really high chance of being read. I will say this right now. Please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. I love you. Thank you for being here and I hope you enjoy. Okay, hi guys. First update of the reading challenge. One of the things that I hated about my last 24-hour reading challenge was that I didn't give many updates and I was really bad at updating you. I'm working on making that better for this video. Y'all, this must be a joke. Okay, period. I have been reading A Torch Against the Night by Sarah Tahir. This is the second book in the A Number in the Ashes series. There are 4 books and I have been enjoying it so much. I didn't expect one of the POVs that we get in this book. We have 3 POVs and in the first book it was dual POV. So we got the POV of Leia and the POV of Elias, and in this one we get a new POV of one of the characters that we already knew, and honestly at first I was really thrown off by that because the POV that we get, I didn't like the character after the first book and now I see how everything is playing out. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being in that character's POV. It gives so much to the story. I don't want to really talk about the plot of this book because obviously it's the second book in a series, so I'm going to give you the rundown of the first book. So basically we have Leia and Elias. Elias is training to be a mask. Masks are the soldiers of the Empire, the government in this world. So he's the best and he's at this military school and he's about to graduate. And then we have Leia, who's a scholar, and scholars are basically the inferior people in this world. She infiltrates the Empire's military school as a slave girl and she serves for the commandant, who's the one who supervises all the other masks at the school. So she infiltrates as a slave because she wants to get her brother back, because her brother got kidnapped and sent to jail by the Empire. And so that's the gist of it. And then we follow both of their POVs as they are trying to, basically, Elias doesn't really want to be a mask. He hates everything about the Empire and the military school. He's planning to leave the school after graduation. So we get his POV, and then we get the POV of Leia, who's basically spying for this organization that works against the Empire. And so she really has to figure out who she trusts and who she doesn't trust, and all of that just because she wants to save her brother. So in this book, we continue to have both of their POVs, but there's an added POV of one of the characters that, like I said, I didn't understand at first because I didn't like that character very much from the first book, but then I understood everything they were doing. I understand the reasons, so I'm very glad that we have that here. I will say that there's like romance brewing in the back. The main thing is not the romance, this is a fantasy. But the thing is, there's so much going on with the relationships in the series. We have like love triangles everywhere. I hate when I like every single character and I'm like, okay, they are hurting because you want to be with this other person, but I like you as well and I want you to be happy, but this person is hurt. That's kind of what's happening to me with this series. I feel bad for some of the characters. Right now I'm on page 146. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm a slow reader. Just seeing that I read for 4 hours and a half and I'm only on page 146 sucks. I have so many books that I want to read and such little time that I really want to learn to read faster. I don't know if you guys have any tips. Please comment down below. How do you guys lock in and read so fast? I'm going to keep reading A Torch Against the Night. I'm really enjoying this. Let's continue. Believe it or not, I've never had tea with a splash of milk before. This is very English woman of me. I don't know if I'm going to like it. If I don't, I'm going to be very disappointed. The smell is not enticing. Okay, cheers. I mean, I'm so confused. I don't know if I like it. I think I prefer lemon juice and honey. I don't think it's for me. I look like a wet rat. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I come to you with an update. I'm half of the way through A Torch Against the Night and I'm exactly 6 hours and 35 minutes into the challenge. Now that's really discouraging. I'm not going to lie. I knew I was a slow reader, but like, what do you mean? I'm 6.5 hours in and I have only read half of the book. Yeah, you know what? Like, at this pace, I'll finish this book in 13 hours. Yeah, people don't talk about how hard this is. I took a shower. I felt like I was losing brain cells a little bit. Let's see if I can read this faster. You think it would be fun to read for 24 hours? I'm kind of losing my mind. So it's been 13 hours and I have finally finished A Torch Against the Night, the first book in this challenge. I'm very proud of myself. I did it. It took me a long time. I think if I keep pushing myself, I can do it in less hours. By the way, I need to come clean. I am wearing the same jacket just to give you guys the illusion that it's the same day, but forget the 2 days, 12 hours and 12 hours. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's been 4 days, but obviously we're continuing with the challenge. It's still really fun. I'm pausing the timer whenever I'm not reading, so we will get 24 hours of reading. I really enjoyed this book. I'm not going to talk about it farther, as I told you, because it's the second book in a series, but let me tell you that the twists and turns I didn't expect. I was suspicious of one of the characters. I'm being very vague here, I don't want to spoil it. I was very suspicious of one of the characters, but I didn't know what the situation was. I gave this book a 5 stars. I think this series is going to be a 5-star series overall. So this is how our TBR is looking, and I decided to pick up a photo finish by Elsie Silver next. So I'm going to get into this book. I read a little bit already. I'm going to continue. It's very entertaining, very short. I want to see how much it takes me compared to a 450-page fantasy book. We'll see. I'm going to give you guys an update because if I don't, I might just finish the whole book. I'm 100 pages in. I'm on chapter 11 and it seems like I'm flying through this book. I do see myself reading faster, so yes, reading a romance is way easier than reading fantasy. Let me tell you a bit about the book and how I'm enjoying it. So basically we have Violet and Cole. Cole is the brother of the guy from the first book, and Violet is like the caretaker of the horses, and also she has been promoted to like race, so she races with the horse from the first book, Dee. Her and Dee won a championship, and now she has to prove to herself and to others, well, she feels like she has to prove to others that she actually deserves to be there. And then we have Cole, who's a veteran, and he is a bit grumpy. It's so sad. He thinks that he deserves to be lonely, but also he doesn't want to. This is like a second chance romance a little bit. Not really. I mean, they knew each other from before. In the beginning of every single chapter, we get like little flashbacks to their first interactions. Their first interactions were through a forum where Violet posted a nude picture and then Cole basically contacted her. I didn't tell you the most important part of the story, so let me tell you. Violet has an accident while competing and she messes up her leg, so she can't go up the stairs, down the stairs. She can barely walk and she needs help, so the only place that she can stay at is where Cole is currently staying, so it's forced proximity. I'm very excited to keep reading, and I think the next update will be this book finished. I have finished A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver and I loved it so much. That's my dog, by the way. Yeah, I know. This was so good. 5 stars, which that means that I have read 2 5-star books back to back, and that's unheard of. So I'm very happy that this is the situation that I'm in. Yeah, I enjoyed both main characters. I really liked the depression and the PTSD representation on the MMC. I also loved that he went to therapy and we saw how he really does use it as the tool that is meant to be. Like, it's not a one-time thing. There were such beautiful quotes in here, especially when he was in therapy and talking to his therapist. This really does show me that a book doesn't have to be 500 pages for it to be good and deep. This is really one of my favorites, and I didn't expect it because the first one, it wasn't my favorite book ever. I gave it 3 stars. I'm very excited for the next couple. I already know who they are, and we also see the characters from the Chestnut Spring series, so now I know who they are and where they come from. I do not own the Chestnut Spring series, but I did want to read that series before this one. I actually wanted to buy that one, but it wasn't available. It was out of stock at the time. I'm so happy that I get to read the Gold Rush Ranch series first, because now I see where those characters come from and who they are. So I'm so happy that it happened this way. I did read this faster than the fantasy book that I read before, A Torch Against the Night. That kind of proves to me that romance is easier for me to read. Now I only have 2 hours left in the timer and I was debating on what to read. So this is the rest of our TBR. I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to start, I already started, but I'm going to pick up A Reaper at the Gates by Sarah Tahir. This is the 3rd book in the series. Why am I going to pick this one up? Because in 2 hours I'm not going to finish a book. I'm not going to be able to give you any ratings, and since I already read 2 books in the series, I already explained to you what the series really is about. You already know how I'm feeling about the series. The first 2 books were 5 stars. Let's go. Let's start reading A Reaper at the Gates. This is going to be the last book in the challenge. Okay, an hour and 20 minutes on the clock. Let's finish this. I have my lemonade and I have A Reaper at the Gates. I'm on page 26, so let's see how much I can read in this hour and 20 minutes. Let's finish the challenge. I'm done with the challenge. I'm so happy. This has been an incredible challenge. Honestly, incredible 24 hours. I'm so proud of myself because I was able to finish the challenge, keep up with the World Cup, and keep up with F1. Like, I don't know how I'm doing it. I think this challenge is way better than the one I did before because I started every single book from page 0, and so we can clearly see how much I read. Let's do a little recap of every single book I read in this video. So first I picked up A Torch Against the Night. This is the 2nd book in the series. I don't know how this series is called. This series has 4 books. I gave it a 5 stars. I can't really talk much about the book. I already told you what it's about. We have Elias and we have Leia. Leia basically infiltrates the Empire as a slave, and Elias is a soldier, a mask for the Empire, but he doesn't want to be. He's basically planning to secretly leave the Empire and run away and leave freely, but destiny and other things have other plans. There was a twist that I wasn't expecting in this book and I really enjoyed it. I give it a 5, just like I did with the first book. There was something that I wanted to make clear. This series is not romantasy. I want to be clear with that. The romance is very subtle. It's very slow burn. There are a lot of relationships forming in this world, but we see them slowly, progressively get stronger and stronger. We're more focused on the fantasy and the war aspect of the world, and we do get romance subplots, but they are very, very faint. It's honestly the way I like it, but I just wanted to make it clear. Just go into the series knowing that the romance is very light. It's very on the background of things. So like I said, it's honestly the way I enjoy it, especially in fantasies. So I'm very happy and pleased with the series, and this was a 5 stars, the first book in the challenge. Then, as you know, I picked up A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver, and it was everything I wanted and more. I'm still thinking about it. This was a 5 stars as well, which I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that I got 2 5 stars back to back. This was so good, you guys, and I was not expecting it because the first book in the series, Off to the Races, wasn't really good in my opinion, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't amazing. It was just a 3 stars. It was okay to me. The representation on mental health was amazing. I loved seeing the characters from the first book in this one as side characters. I think they were better as side characters in my opinion. I'm still thinking about them and this book, and it is a 5 stars. Like, I really fell in love with the couple. I wasn't expecting it for this series, honestly, because every time I hear about Elsie Silver, I hear about the Chestnut Spring series. I don't really hear enough about Gold Rush Ranch and this book. I'm not one to say skip the first one. Just know that this one is waiting for you, and it's so amazing. This is a 5 stars, and I'm so happy. And for the last 2 hours of the challenge, you know, I picked up A Reaper at the Gates, the third book in the series by Sabatahir. I was able to get to page 71. We already know I'm a really slow reader. We can already tell. It's okay, it's fine. But I think I did pick up my pace. 71 in 2 hours? Someone do the math compared to the first book, because the first book took me 12 hours. Basically, there are 450 pages, and now I read 71 pages in 2 hours. I might be coping. I think I'm coping. But let's just say that I picked up my pace. It seems like it to me, so that's all it matters. I'm really liking this, and honestly, like, please, let's just take a second. I know these characters cannot have a minute of peace, but for my sake and sanity, let's just take a breather, please. Like, why? And the violence, I have to talk about that. This series doesn't shy away from violence towards children, literal children. I'm not going to say to who or how or when, but I just read how someone broke someone else's fingers slowly and painfully, going like this. I'm honestly cringing at the violence. I'm really enjoying, not the violence, but the series. That's all I read in this challenge, and I'm very proud of myself. 2 entire books and 70 pages of one. That's great. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're not, and I hope I see you in my next video. Take care. Bye guys.